Alright, what does building the eye mean? Well, for that, what we mean is actually building eyes. We're going to create a pair of eyeballs, basically, with spheres. And yes, the fish is actually going to have an actual eye, which is a separate P geometry, and which is typical in 3D modeling, where like things like teeth, the insides of the mouth is sometimes made with an extra separate object, or the eyeballs, especially because this has to rotate completely without stretching the rest of the object. So it's like an independent thing. So that's the reason why it's done. So a good way to do it is make a sphere in a sphere, and look, this being see this as a pupil, and start placing it inside. And if you got it things done right, just focus on one eye. Once you got it right, at one point the scaling would be just right enough to fit pretty nicely, and then you can still move the points around to hug that eyeball correctly. And you can keep testing it by just rotating it. See this. And if it's a square, what is that? A sphere, it will cut through things only correctly, so equally. So look at this. There's a small glitch here, so which you can fix by moving the points of just that area, like that. Now look for any other glitches. Make sure that the eye is really bulging out and not like inward with this huge gap. There should be no gaps inside. It should be just, and even if it cuts through the inside a little much, that's okay. And then we can fix things up like this. This, you just push it in. This also goes in. Just look through and make sure all the gaps are closed, taken care of. There you go. Great. And so you'll see that the eye will take up a huge space, and ideally, I mean, realistically, that's too much. That's too big of an eye. But the thing is, this is a cartoon fish, which is why the artist drew large eyes, and the complication of such an eye is that it doesn't exist in real life. That is, both eyes are supposed to be the same size, and it's not supposed to collide with each other. But this being a cartoon fish, so be it. And if the eyes were in a small, it won't really work. It'll kind of plop out. So this is just the right size, and do not be alarmed to see this huge eye inside, because what matters is what you see outside. Okay, so this concludes making one eye, and the next step is to create the second one.